I'm Sarah, and welcome to my channel, The Spoonie Life and Beyond. I've just been given a link to the Skirt Saga by Charlie. Thank you very much for tagging me again, Charlie. I'm just going to respond in a response to neurotypical versus neurodiverse. So essentially, there is such a broad spectrum, and when we're talking about criticism, and giving criticism to something when somebody's asked, how does my skirt look, and you get a response as to whether it's a criticism or a suggestion. I think people need to understand that, in a neurotypical response, you will get a very different response than somebody who is autistic, for example. So somebody who is autistic, they don't have the same communication skills as someone who is neurotypical. So we need to think of neurodiversity. So somebody who is autistic, for example, they can tend to be more blunt. It also depends on the broad spectrum. There's such a large spectrum for autism as to how they're able to function. And so, it makes it hard in regards to being able to work, being able to communicate within their social circles, within their peers, their family. So being asked something as simple as, what do you think of my skirt? That, you can't assume that they're meaning criticism. It could be that they're making a suggestion, but it's being taken the wrong way because they don't communicate in the same way as someone who is neurotypical, because their communication skills are so very, very different. And there's so many people out there who are advocating for ADHD, for autism, or like myself, chronic illness, disability, invisible illnesses, and there's such a broad spectrum going over all these areas within the health community. And I think we need to take on a more broader understanding and maybe empathy towards these things that, that we try to be more understanding, that people respond differently, and that we shouldn't really be judging so harshly on the way that somebody reacts. And so I really think that, we should maybe take a step back and think to ourselves, are they really criticizing, or are they potentially just not communicating in the same way that we know how to communicate? There are so many different ways of communicating and being able to understand that there is neurodiversity, and that we need to be able to take that step back. And if we don't understand something, maybe taking that time to learn to understand, so in the future we don't take what that person is saying the wrong way, and potentially looking at it with critical thinking. And so that's my take on it, is that I think people need to, look at it in a different perspective, use some critical thinking, taking some time to maybe take that step back and understand that, people do think differently. And like Charlie said, that people with autism can be more blunt. They can say things differently because they do communicate differently. And that doesn't make them any less of a person. It doesn't make them mean. It doesn't mean that they're criticizing. It's just that that's how they communicate. And that we all communicate differently. So I do ask that people do take that into consideration, especially when they're going out and posting things, with potential judgment or lack of understanding even. So yes, that's my take on it, and I do hope that this helps. So thank you, Charlie, for reaching out, and I hope that I've been able to help in this circumstance, and I look forward to speaking to you all again soon. Bye.